Today we will be talking about Mark Cuban. For those of you who don't live under a rock, you may know who he is. And today we're going to look at how Mark Cuban made $1 million. Mark Cuban is an American investor and serial entrepreneur who is one of the main sharks on Shark Tank. For good measure, he also bought and now owns the Dallas Mavericks. His current estimated net worth is around $6.5 billion. We've gathered the most significant lessons from his journey for you to draw some inspiration from. So without further ado, here's how to get rich according to Mark Cuban. But wait, before we get into more about Mark Cuban, make sure to like and subscribe for more information like this. Now let's start it. He still holds the record for the biggest online sale ever when he purchased his G5 private jet for $40 million. One of his financial practices early on was living within your means. In one of his blog posts, he makes the basic but very important point that you should live within your means. Your bills are your worst enemies, according to Cuban. The more options you have, the less expensive life is. He shared a one-bedroom apartment with 5 other people for a large portion of his early adolescence, but this allowed him to concentrate on his main objective. Mark Cuban became a millionaire when he sold his first business, Micro Solutions, for $6 million, of which he received 2. However, up until that point, he continued to live like a student. As he likes to say, he never splurged, buying neither a more expensive car nor a larger home even as the company continued to grow. This is the first crucial lesson to learn if you truly want to become wealthy and have control over your own destiny, because doing so will, even if it's just a t-shirt. Zara is replaced with Gucci, the watch costs more, and the vehicle is upgraded. This is referred to as lifestyle inflation, and if you continue spending money in the same manner that you earn it, you'll never accumulate enough to make a significant leap toward becoming wealthy. Work to pay the bills. In his first job, Mark Cuban sold garbage bags in his neighborhood, going door to door and telling people they could call him whenever they needed bags. He considers it to be the first subscription-based garbage bag business, and he used the money for pocket money and stock market investments. The key is your first venture. You almost certainly won't become wealthy through endeavor because you can't create the next big thing on your own and lack the necessary resources and experience to do so. You can't afford to build a big business if you can't afford to pay for your food, rent, and other necessities of life with equity. Take care of your bills first with a job or a small, simple business that works. It's common wisdom to use equity to pay for your life. The first time Mark Cuban said, "Okay, I'm set for life now," was when his second company went public and his net worth shot up to $300 million US. However, the truth is that you can never become wealthy through employment. There are no jobs that pay millions of dollars annually. But what about superstar athletes like Messi? His contract with Inter Miami is worth $150 million US over a 2.5-year period. PR and branding for merchandise. The point is that you need to own a business or at least a portion of one in order to be a part of something that increases in value. A CEO's salary is negligible in comparison to a company's stock. If you don't understand how that works, watch our video where we explain why CEOs are paid 300x more than average workers. Play with your team. Mark Cuban had always been a fan of the Mavericks and believed he could do a better job of turning around that team, which is why he purchased it for $285 million US. One of the first things he did was to set up his office next to the sales team, and he then picked up the phone and began making calls to potential investors. For every person who succeeds financially from their passion, there are millions who fail as a result. Go for it when the time comes to jump. When the time comes to jump, go for it. During a CNBC interview, no one on earth hasn't had that "oh my god, I've got this idea" moment, according to Cuban, but very few take the leap and follow through. This is because the monthly paycheck is a very strong addiction, making it difficult to leave the security of a regular income to pursue something more worthwhile but possibly unstable. Many people stop at getting a job to pay the bills but never go beyond that. It takes guts and confidence in oneself. But in the end, that's what you have to do to succeed. Discover your strengths and put forth the effort to excel in them. Everyone in the world, according to Cuban, is good at something. But finding that talent is the first challenge because mastering it is the second. Whether it be for work, sports, music, or writing, everyone possesses an innate propensity that elevates them above those without it. Some people know their talents since childhood, while others don't until they're in their 30s, when the pressure is greater, but it's something you have to do, and then the second part is to actually become great at it. Okay. Those who claim they're not good at anything haven't tried enough things to figure out, or they were placed in a context where they couldn't try too many things. And in that case it's pretty hard to figure it out. Hard work always triumphs over talent, which is insufficient. Talent doesn't work hard enough. What you're good at gets you a starting point, and then you have to fine-tune your ability until your skill becomes undeniable. For Cuban, that skill was selling. Ever since he was a kid, he bought and sold baseball cards, stamps, garbage bags, and whatever else he could find. That constant skill honing eventually made him great at selling, which in turn led him to enter the technology business. So find what you're good at and then make an effort to become great at it. It'll pay off dividends for the rest of your life. Build a base of knowledge around your adjacent interests. Build a base knowledge on your adjacent interests, or in other words, do your homework on things that might be useful to you. A great example is how Cubans started educating themselves on AI more than 5 years ago. He understood that this technology could impact a lot of his businesses, and he took the time to get educated. In an interview with Yahoo Finance from 2019, Cuban said he already started to read books like AI for Dummies, take Python classes, and talk to people just so he could understand the space more. He didn't do it in order to become the next big AI company, but to be able to ask questions and actually understand the answers when the time came. So why is this important? Well, it's hard to see opportunities when you're not even looking. The thing that could propel you to the next level might just be around the corner. But if you don't know about it and don't educate yourself, you will miss it. Here's how you start. Take your business or whatever you're good at and look at 10 different industries or topics that are related to it. Your opportunities will increase as you broaden your knowledge. The largest investment you could ever make. The best investment you could ever make with a larger sum of money is to immediately get rid of debt. But that's the last thing most people do when they are holding a bag of cash, according to Mark Cuban. If you have $25, $50, or $100,000, paying off any kind of debt is a guaranteed return. Yes, interest on debt is eating away at the money you haven't even made yet. The last but not least is to have your money prepared. One of the most crucial pieces of advice Mark Cuban has given when it comes to becoming wealthy is to always have cash on hand. You shouldn't be saving for retirement right now. Instead, you should be saving for the moment you need cash when a great opportunity arises and you're aware of it. If you don't have cash on hand to take advantage of that opportunity, you pointlessly lock yourself in a box. Let us know who we should cover next in Think About It for a Moment. We'll see you back here tomorrow, my friend, and take care. We hope you enjoyed this video, friend. Once again, like and subscribe for more insight and knowledge like this. Thank you for watching.